don't you give me that NBA sting?
Okay, so you wanted me to change up the sting, so hopefully you like this.
Running
Up,
up.
KD. That sounds good right there.
Don't mess this up.
NBA, we are talking NBA. East Coast, West Coast, North and South. Let me hear you have your say. NBA.
We just lost everyone who's ever listened to this podcast. Okay?
Do you know what that was, though?
That was Jingle Bells.
That was that commercial they had like 4 or 5 years ago
Very
for the
good.
NBA.
Yeah.
With all shooting and
They're all
LeBron
shooting.
jumped.
There's bells in all the nets.
But then that's you. You're
I'm
in
singing
that.
over it.
Yeah.
That's what threw me off, man. What do you mean, do I know what this is? You dubbed over something.
You was trying to throw off the players, but they still made their shots.
Maybe they want to reboot it with me doing that audio.
I don't even know what to say. That
That's the only reboot they have for it, and I'll just get a new audio guy.
To anyone who's here from Toronto, or even if you're not, there's a place called Lee's Palace.
Yeah.
And let's say I've seen a lot of music there. I've seen a lot of sound collages. Okay, that's one of the darkest, most confusing sound bites I've ever heard in my life.
Oh.
Thanks, I guess, man.
All right.
I feel sick.
It was haunting. It was haunting.
We're rattled, man. Why are you gonna do that to us? Okay, let's move on. I guess Matt's gonna go back to his lab. Yeah, Bobby, let's talk some Canadian basketball. I don't know what the most recent news is. I did hear that Carleton coach say that he thinks major colleges from the States are dodging his team.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm like, that's just cool to say.
Right.
Because Carleton's this like amazing kind of undefeated, or not undefeated, but they just win like crazy. So I love that he's kind of, anyways, yeah.
I think we just qualified. We just qualified for the World Championships. They played in Brazil. They destroyed Brazil. And we should have won actually like 2 years ago when we lost to that Venezuela team. I think Wiggins was like 0 for 11 in that game. It was terrible. But so far, the lineup for going to forward to the World, we got like, Murray, Wiggins, Olenek, Thompson.
Are all these guys going to play though? Because
yes, all these guys saying they really want to play. They really want to represent.
Because I know when the contracts are like, let's say if a guy's like hasn't signed his new contract,
right?
Like likely won't play,
right?
And I know Leo's always throwing those digs at Wiggins and stuff because Leo's always like, "Oh, Murray, he's such a good Canadian. He'll never miss a Canadian game." Unlike some of the other players, some of them are in Minnesota even.
This is based off Eric Smith.
He's not the first.
This is based off Eric Smith. He's like, everybody who's playing and wants to play and be able to play. And once again, it was like Murray, Wiggins, Barrett, Olenek, Thompson, and Corey Joseph so far.
And SGA, is he going to play or is he has
GA?
Shea Alexander. He's from Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
he's from Hamilton, right?
No mention yet. I think he's having a great year in the Clippers. But I'm loving our Canadian talent we have presently in the NBA. I think I totally believe. I believe that in the World Championships we could possibly get a medal.
I mean, we seem like we could have a full-on NBA roster,
of course. Yeah.
And mixed with like role players,
right.
A couple, maybe Murray's a superstar at that point. Mm-hmm. Barrett, who knows? We'll see how he does.
Have you seen Barrett the last few days? What he's doing?
He looks like a star. He looks like a star.
Yeah, like almost 30 points, I think.
He looks pretty incredible. I mean, I'm not as low on Wiggins as many people.
Sorry, Barrett, I mean Bennett. My bad. I'm talking about Anthony Bennett.
Oh, Bennett.
Yes, Anthony Bennett just had a monster game 2-3 days ago.
And he's playing the G League, right?
G League, right?
Yeah, but he's like kind of tearing it up, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. It was like 2K.
So speaking of Canadians, our guy for the Raptors, Boucher, didn't he just have like a 30-point game or something?
Oh, I didn't know about.
No, yeah, Boucher apparently was like ripping it up for the 905.
Okay,
yeah, and that's an unhideable name,
right?
Yeah, totally.
Is Serbia number 2 right now? Who's the number 2?
Oh, I don't know the rankings. I can't tell you.
I know France is pretty good. They usually have an awesome team. Mm-hmm. Spain, I'm not sure where they're at. And I think like a lot of the really, really good European guys in the NBA are all from different countries.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's Doncic from?
Serbia.
Yeah, Serbia.
Serbia. So is there another amazing Serbian? Where's Jokic from?
Serbia, buddy. If it's a Chich or an it, like an IC and V's and K's all in the same last name is Yugoslavia, which is no longer a country,
right?
And then so there are other like Serbian or Croatian with that name.
Yeah, because there's still because
so they could be.
There's Vucevic. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I guess we're playing the ethnicity guessing game at this point. But yeah, there's a lot to be excited for Canadian basketball.
Absolutely.
And I think we've always wanted a nice competitive game with Team USA. Who knows if we'll ever get it, but we can dream, right? And we got like a pretty promising future.
It's coming through. I believe it was 2 years ago. Our juniors, they actually beat the US, and RJ Barrett was the leader on that team. We think we beat them in Egypt, but we actually beat the Americans. It's the first time in how long? I think it's the first time ever we beat the Americans. We got a gold medal game. So it's
cool.
Juniors can,
I was there when Murray
oh really?
Lit up it was a Team USA at Ryerson.
Okay, yeah, okay.
He totally went. It was right before he went to college.
Right.
And I felt like I was like, oh, this guy's pretty special.
Yeah.
And turns out he was. He's awesome.
He had a big game of the day against us.
He did.
Yeah.
Jokic also is just a bonkers player, right? Like,
yeah. He looks like on paper, or looks like in person, like, if you had to like pick a player to play on your team, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna pick that guy. But he's that same guy who's gonna burn you on the basketball court. He's actually really good.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk like the best 8 teams in the NBA. We're gonna play a little game here where we'll see how different we are on the rankings of the team. So we're gonna go 1 through 8 in the NBA. East and West is included. I kind of wanted to do this to highlight how maybe we can navigate some of this East-West talk, right? Because I feel like the staple thing is like, yeah, the West is way better. But I think there's kind of an emerging narrative where the West is way better in general. They don't have the elite teams the East do necessarily.
Yeah, they're deeper, but we're more top heavy.
Yeah, I'm curious out of these 8 teams, is it going to be 4 East, 4 West? Or I'm curious to see what you guys have.
Well, I have Detroit at 8th here.
You have Detroit at 8th. Okay.
Right. I don't believe that. I think there are above other teams that I believe that should be the 8th spot.
I got the Lakers at the 8th.
Okay.
8th spot. Who do you got, Alex?
The Detroit thing, I mean, that took me a while. I couldn't not have the Rockets in that 8th spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just correcting myself. I'm not having Detroit at 8. I'm currently at 8 right now. I just don't.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't
Wait. So
see
in this like if we're starting from 8, who's your team?
Oh, starting from 8, who's my team?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to go with Toronto, Denver, Clippers, Milwaukee, Oklahoma, Philly, Golden State, and the 8th spot is going to.
No, I love how I was like going to like slowly unveil it, and you're just like busting it out, and it's actually kind of great. No, like just go through yours, and then Alex, you'll do
and my
yours,
8th
and I'll do
spot.
mine.
I'm going to have to go. Just too many to choose from. Like probably New Orleans, Houston. I'm so sorry about the Spurs, but I don't think they're going to make the top 8.
They're not in my top 8
No.
either. Alex?
Okay, well, so I put my top 8. Your questioning was a little confusing. I'm going to put my top 8's like a power ranking on the last day of the regular season.
That's what mine is.
Okay.
But also, my questions are always confusing. So.
Right. But I don't think like necessarily that these will be the orders of the best record in the league. One, you can't win 2 straight titles and 3 of the last 4 and not be the number 1 going into the playoffs when you have the same starting lineup as last year. So it's Golden State, and then it's the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Because how can you not have them there?
That's me.
Then it's the Bucks.
Same.
Then it's the Nuggets because what they're playing as a team like nobody else in the league, even including us.
I got the Nuggets in 5.
Yeah. And OKC, they're going to figure out offense, right? I mean, and it's not even their offense is that bad. It just pales in comparison to their defense. And whole man, yeah, it looks like they won 14 of 17. They are looking good.
I had OKC 3rd in the West, and then with that after that bad start, I was like, oh no, was that my terrible take? And I'm like, no, I think that's gonna even.
The alarming part is they're losing their big games, and then I have 6 because of the aforementioned potential Anthony Davis trade. But then also, like, they're just looking good. And I've had this prediction all year. Lakers.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty high.
I think the Lakers are all right. They're ahead of schedule.
Yeah. And then 76ers and Rockets to round it out. But those are more like, I don't even actually think this. I have to.
So for me, it's pretty close to. I think there's not a lot of different teams. I actually left OKC off, which I feel like is a mistake. But so I got Golden State, Raptors, Bucks, Philly, Denver, Celtics, which maybe I should swap out for Oklahoma, Rockets, Lakers. So it seems like there's a general consensus. You had New Orleans, Bobby.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I had Celtics. You had OKC, Alex. Did you have anyone else, Bobby, that was wasn't one of these teams?
Man, it's. I mean, I can't say Houston, but I'm surprised how well they're not playing so far this season.
I just feel like Houston's going to self-correct.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same way about Boston, even though I hate saying that.
Houston needs defense, though. If they make the playoffs, want to go far, they need a couple defenders. They have too much shooting. They have too many ISO ball players on the team.
It'd be pretty sick if they had, like, I don't know, Luke Richard, Mbamute, and Ariza.
Yeah,
you know, like
big loss.
Whoever, like,
Yeah, I mean, the Ariza loss is huge.
Oh, yeah.
And it was stated how big it would be for them. Like, oh, they're not on Golden State's level anymore.
Didn't they lose him for Carmelo? Did they have to make room for Melo?
I don't know if that's. I mean, that is the narrative. I don't know. I can't say I looked at their cap sheet. And
Yeah,
know
we
if they
should
could've, but
actually-
I think they could have afforded to keep Ariza, which is criminal that they would.
Oh my god! Yeah.
we should actually, before we move on to the quickish questions segment, just let's each say a word about Melo. We're going to kind of pour one out because, you know, yeah, the guy gets ripped on a lot, but his career might be over. Like, I don't think we need to do like a appreciation segment or like if you hate him, a hate segment, but it's kind of...
Two things off my head. First thing, I believe Mike D'Antoni did him dirty. I think D'Antoni had a grudge, from back in New York. Signed him to Houston, probably knows he's going to make it, and probably try to end his career. Now, also, that's a long story. I'm making it really short. My second point was
that is an airmail. I'm out.
My second point is they use that with the media to to dog Melo. I mean, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, but he's going to play another game. Is his career over right now? I think he needs one more chance. But he needs to get out of the West, probably go back to the East as well.
Somebody send Vince Carter to talk to him.
Exactly.
Be like, listen, all you got to do is play for all the worst teams in the league. It's weird. It's fun, dude. Trust me. Alex, what's any parting words from Melo? Or, maybe he's still around, so you don't have to say goodbye.
Yeah, I guess I would have one parting word, Chucker. And representative of...
That's a good parting
representative
word.
to me of the dark ages of the NBA, and always, after he left college, thought he was a boring, overrated Chucker who thought of himself
Fair enough.
as Tracy McGrady. I really never liked Melo.
Really?
As a player.
I quite like Melo, and I feel like I was never like one of my guys, but I could never get away from the fact that just being compared to LeBron constantly, I
couldn't stand it either.
It almost helped him like status wise,
right.
But I feel like if he just was not associated with LeBron, his evaluation of a career would be like, we would look at it it would be very different.
Dude, I think LeBron went Michael on Carmelo and Dwayne Wade. And you know what I mean by that with that lap.
Yeah. Gave him a Rolex?
Yeah,
Like
man. He fucking friended up to both of them and it worked.
Banana boat!
I think also,
Melo wasn't on the banana boat, right?
For Melo, he hasn't really adjusted his game or added any new elements in all these years. And that's what the problem I think he is. He's always been that chucker, trying to paint up mid-range. He's trying to be a three-point shooter, but he doesn't have really a good three-point shooting
And I mean, he's
average.
also 34.
Right.
So if you think about the average career, it's like he's basically at that point.
A scorer and a shooter of his level that couldn't become a catch and shoot three guy means there is an Iverson level of get over yourself. You're not a perfect basketball player. Everyone needs to realize that. LeBron didn't really get to that like Heat year level beyond and as good as we eventually saw him come until he got a post-up game. Until he started doing things in the summer. LeBron, yeah, you're the best player in the world. You still have a shitty jumper. And he worked on it. He had to, like all the greats. You got to work in the offseason on new things.
Totally.
Not just work.
Right.
Yeah.
If DeMar DeRozan's brain was in Carmelo Anthony, he'd have at least one ring right now.
Absolutely.
That's a nice
at
take.
least one ring right now.
100.
So those are the kind of guys that always get me the most angry. You know what I mean?
I feel like DeMar is like maximized like every fiber of his body.
Yeah.